Thank you all for coming. It's August 7th, 8th. What's today? 1960. Here we go. Trivia question for a Realty One Group T-shirt. $3.99 value. Okay. On this date in 1960, something very famous happened in Las Vegas in the casinos. It affected gamblers. 1960. So that's at 64 years ago today. The casinos got together and created something that would affect the gamblers.
Blacklist? No?
You're kind of close though.
Wait, what did you say? I said like a blacklist. Okay.
Think of a Wheel of Fortune, right? It's got to be the exact answer.
Okay.
She's half right. It's not called a blacklist.
Buy a letter?
It's not called a blacklist. It's called a no.
Black ball?
No, black something.
Blackjack.
Blackjack, no.
Black ball. Black days.
Oh, gosh, you guys are killing me. What's a very famous... You're not going to help me out here, are you? Okay. It's not a black list. It's not a blackjack. It's not a black... Black, another word. It's very famous. The whole world knows that if you're a gambler, they put you in this black... Yes, who said book? You don't count. Okay, so pick a winner. Doesn't matter. Pick a number from 1 to 20.
All right.
Yell it out.
7.
Who's number 7? Compliments of Eddie. You get a T-shirt. There we go. Okay, now. So 64 years ago today, the black book was invented. And Damon's in the black book, by the way. He's a card counter from way back. He still is, right? All right, Ken, good morning. We have D.R. Horton here today. We have Rock Title here today. Let me get to some stuff real quick. Well, there they are. Okay. This is one of the few times when the builders tell us 3 or 4 reps are going to show up that actually all of them show up. So thank you guys for doing that. Usually we get 7 names and 3 show up or just the 1. So you guys all showed up. If you guys want, this Monday, I think school, when does everyone go back to school? Now? Pretty much, right? Okay. So if you have kids and you got to drop them off in the morning, and instead of going home, come here and we're going to have mimosas outside in the kitchen for you. So it's going to be a mimosa Monday. The kids are back to school, a little champagne, a little orange juice, or orange juice, as I say from New Jersey. So that's Monday morning. Come for that. Here's the latest numbers, gang. They haven't changed much from last week. 7,400 active, 10,400 total active. These are unofficial July numbers, but looks like we sold 2,683 total properties last month and a little over 2,000 single family. But look for the article in the RJ today, tomorrow, or Monday. Every month, the first week of the month, they'll publish a press release on how we did the month before. And you guys all should be getting that and putting it in your database and sending it to your clients, okay? Because clients like to be on top of that kind of stuff. That's our $1 Million Club for July. A little round of applause for everybody. Yay! Nobody is here. That's on the list. They're too busy making money, I guess. Well, I saw Damon a minute ago, but he ran away. So, yeah, I don't think anybody else is here, right? No, we don't see anybody. Okay, it's the thought that counts, okay? These are our mentees last month that did a great job. Margie and Helen, so I don't see them here either. Do I win? Oh, there's Mary. Mary. It's a little, how would you guys say that name? Come on, help me out here. Oh, you guys are lying. You're lying. You're lying. All right, the summit's coming up. Don't forget in November. Anybody wants to hop on a plane, go to Miami with a few of us. Tony Robbins will be there. Brian Buffini will be there. It's going to be kind of cool. Okay. Is Miami humid in November? I've never been to Miami.
Not as bad as the summer.
Like now it's horrible, right? Now it's horrible.
It's more tolerable.
Is it? Now is not the time to go, right? It's you don't want to go there now. Okay, so that's our training calendar. You guys know, thanks to Rock Title, they created this little digital thing for you. It looks like that, but it looks much better on your computer or your phone than it does on this stupid screen here. But I think it's going over much better than us printing out calendars and trying to update the calendars and all that stuff. Everything is right there. Download the QR code, you're in. Next week, we're going to have the broker panel here. So all 4 brokers and Wendy and David are going to be up here for you guys to ask questions to. But I need someone to ask questions. Because usually it's just the 4 of us, and Wendy and or Dave would pepper us with questions. But now we want them to be up here too. So if I have any volunteers, I might talk to you guys about it, maybe John Morgan, maybe Nathan or Damon or something. So just something to think about. They might be knocking on the door for that. There you go, Heather and Tim maybe, or we could find out someone, okay? If you're a mentee, I think there's one or two of you in here. The 20th, come at 4 o'clock. We have a little mentee mingle for us in the Northwest office. All the new agents to kind of get together, share successes, share horror stories. Graduated, all that kind of good stuff. If you've done your 3 deals, we give you a little certificate. You have to make a speech, all that stuff, Just kidding, no speeches. That's the rev up schedule for the new folks. You guys know what that is. Who else besides me needs CE classes? If you haven't gone to Matthews, you should come to these. I've gone to them for the last 3 or 4 months up in the Northwest and here. They're not general classes, they're the good ones. So he's doing risk reduction and law and legislation later in the month. And they're free, right here in the room. And Matthew puts on a pretty good class, okay? Lee Dreisen is gonna be doing another 1 hour CE on August 21st. We all know Lee. If you go to our Facebook page today, we posted a nice blog he created regarding probate. Because you're gonna get a probate deal sooner or later, gang. It's just gonna come upon you from someone. And if you look like a deer in the headlights when the client says, well, can you help me do a probate? You're not gonna exude too much confidence, okay? So come to Lee's class, it's only an hour. He's a good guy. If your client doesn't have an attorney, you can refer him to Lee, but most of them have an attorney already when it gets to the point where they want to list it with you. The MLS Tech Forum's coming up. Hopefully all of you are going. It's a cool one-day affair. Irina's gone all the time. Steffi, Carrie's gone all the time. There's a rumor that Doug Miller's going to show up, and he hasn't showed up since 1987. But there's a rumor he might show up to the forum, but I wouldn't bet on it. But he might show up. Okay, I would. I would. Okay. That's onboarding that we did yesterday. All right, gang. So as you guys know, we don't have a lot of builders come in. If the builders had it their way, not D.R. Horton, a builder would like to come into every meeting, right? Every Thursday, a builder calls me or Susan, hey, I'd love to come in and tell you guys how great we are. I think we have like 5 that we let come in. And one of our favorites are these guys because they do business with us and we do business with them and they answer the phone. So say hello to the troop here from D.R. Horton, gang. So yay!
It's always on Mondays, another window. Is that how you guys are? Is it always on a Monday that changes a little bit on the interest rate?
Well, we get our releases on Mondays.
Is that what, so?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So it's universal now?
Right.
Okay.
And some of us are 4.99 for VA and FHA, and other ones are 5.5, right in that range. We don't change the prices, but we will negotiate on some of the closing costs again. We offer 5,000 in closing costs.
And do any of the communities offer a clubhouse or just a pool and parks? Yeah, okay.
The pools are gonna be with the townhomes.
I see, okay.
So. Any questions for us? Yes.
Well, I used to always call a central person at D.R. Horton when I had my question, and he said this community, that community, we have this great map of all the communities on. Do you still do that? Do you have
Yeah, we
central-
have Sonia.
Sonia, okay. I think it was Jeff in the past or
Justin.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin left us, he's now selling somewhere, not with us.
So we could still call Sonia.
Yes.
Do you have her contact details or is it?
Question before we go there,
Uh-huh.
is it advantageous for them to contact you guys directly?
Oh,
Yeah,
Sonia.
it doesn't matter. We all have our own community, so Sonia would just direct them to us.
Yeah, and then we come and sign up.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay, good question, yeah.
Is she like the concierge, so to speak? I guess some companies, yeah, whatever. That she knows where all the properties are.
Yeah,
And
she'll direct you the right way.
right, I got you. Okay. Any big incentives for Realty One Group agents?
3%.
That's big.
$2,500 bonus.
$2,500 bonus, like a $2,500 bonus right now. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
It's 3% of all your properties because
Oh,
they're
base
not,
price.
they're not advertised
Oh.
as selected properties.
Yeah.
Well, we're not. And we're not rich in
Most
America.
everything is base price.
That's just the
because
price
we
of
include
it.
everything. We don't have a design center any longer,
Okay.
so.
Respect over, so what you see is what you get.
Okay.
I do have a question about Heartland. How much more building do they have up there? 'Cause I know that you're just starting, but I heard it's huge with schools and Hartland.
Oh, where are you talking about?
Heartland.
Oh, Heartland, 9,000 homes, 3 more years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What area is that again?
We're Julie Springs.
Oh.
We're over by, Aliante.
Oh,
See that one?
oh,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful neighborhood, looks like Summerlin.
So I like it, and they have schools projected for out there as well.
There's gonna be an elementary school next to the park. And the park's already in, it's 11 acres.
And which high school is it for? Not that I haven't been to
Legacy.
school anymore, but what is that, like?
Legacy.
I wasn't sure, yeah, 'cause yeah, and that's what I was wondering is because it starts at like Aliante Parkway and it just goes that way, so I didn't know if they were gonna open it up, cause I know all of the high schools are at capacity. So that was a question is when.
No, there'll be more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of land out there.
And the elementary school is done, or when will it?
It's Trig.
What is
Trig's.
No, but it's finished.
Oh, not the new one.
Okay.
No, not yet.
A couple more years.
Probably. It takes them a while.
I do have a question. Sometimes in the past, when the buyer closed, there was an issue with the property taxes. Like, it's minimal when they close, and 2 months later, bada bing.
Because they're only taxing on the land.
Right, is that still happening with, even with you guys?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Next year it goes up.
So when I,
1% up there.
so my buyer closes on the $462,000 Heartland Bay, what should I tell my buyer to expect for property taxes, potentially a month or two down the road?
Oh, it's gonna be low for the first year. You know something? I'm not sure. I just tell them it's 1%, but the first year they get a break.
Okay? 1% of the sales price. That's what I'm getting at, yeah, okay.
I don't think they change until the community is finished.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
They don't change the taxes until the
Oh, okay.
community is finished, then they increase the payment.
To 1%, yeah.
Okay, we don't know if that's actually a fact with every builder in Clark County, what Maria just said, that if it takes them 3 years to build, I'm paying, $40 a month, for 3 years, and then all of a sudden it goes up to $600 a month. So just be careful. That's the kind of thing where the buyer can come back and bite us in the butt, kind of with that. Yeah, exactly. So you just gotta be careful with that,
The
so.
original property is taxed at what the land was, and then when you go get your loan and reassess it at usually 0.9 or 1%. I think Henderson's like 0.85, so it depends where you're at in the valley. So-
But you guys will quote 1% of the purchase price as a rule of thumb to keep, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I like that.
That
Okay.
way there's no sticker shock.
Exactly, okay. Anything else, gang? We're good? Yeah, you sure? Once they walk out the door, because they got to go to a meeting at 10:30. That's it, yeah. Hey, one thing I do want to ask you, we've done this in the past where we would go to you, like at 10 o'clock in the morning, for a breakfast tour of 4 or 5 models. Is that still a possibility?
Yeah, that'd be great. Canons or Heartland.
Right, yeah.
Either one, because we've got so many communities right next to each other. That'd
Okay.
be fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, we're probably more of a North Las Vegas, West Side, as opposed to going to
Yeah,
Cadence
I'm sure Harlem
kind of
does that.
thing.
Yeah.
But that's a possibility?
For sure.
Okay, good.
Sure, anytime
Okay.
you want.
On the 18th, I'll be doing a lunch and learn as well, so at Kalia Bay. So
Oh.
I'll be sure to send you guys all the details.
Yes, that'd be cool.
Are
Okay.
you still building spec houses or it's choice?
Everything is spent.
Yeah, like you said, there's no design center.
No.
So it is what it is, so.
So basically, you guys are building it out, if I remember correctly, I sold one in Harlan, it's like 45 days out, then you release them, and then that's when you guys bring your buyers, and then
We
this
get
is what
to,
your option.
we don't have much of a list anymore, at ours anyway. You can walk in the door and actually buy a house now,
Wow, very cool.
so.
Interesting. All right, kids, we're good? Nobody? All righty, gang. D.O. Horton, everybody. Yeah! All right. I lost the clicker already. Okay.
I can talk about
There you go. Oh, a little photo time here? There you go.
Oh, hold on, let me grab a picture.
Yes, grab that, please.
Okay, perfect.
Did you get it? Yeah.
One more.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Woo-hoo! All right, gang, the incomparable Wendy Schaller is here.
I
Yay!
just want to touch upon my hours again real quick. I had to adjust them because I'm still getting calls at 10, It is 8 to 5, I'm physically in the office, and then when I leave, I shut my phone off at 6 p.m. So no calls or texts after 6 p.m., but you can email me, and I do still respond to my emails in the evening, but I just cannot have my phone ringing all night long. It is not our job is not 24 hours. Nobody's job in real estate is 24 hours. I had 20 years, I've not found one person that works 24 hours in real estate. So if you guys can just please be courteous of that, and not after 6 o'clock. I was getting calls on, it was 4th of July at, 4th of July evening, 10:45 at night, saying, I have a question, and you don't have to answer it tonight, but I really do expect a call back. But I was on vacation, and I had let you guys know a week prior I was going on vacation, and it was still calls all weekend long. And I'm like, I want to help you guys, but sometimes I go camping and I don't have availability, and then you're mad that I'm not there. So 8 to 5, I'm physically here, can meet with you, can answer the phone. At 5 to 6, I'll answer my phone. And then just emails after that. Saturday, Sunday, I work 7 days a week, so Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 4, you could call me. Just emails after 4. So that's business hours. Now, I just want to give you the Realtor resources. We have a lot of places that you guys can go. We don't have all of the questions on all of the tools, like transaction desk, how do I make a signing, how do I fix my name in it, or the MLS, how do I get this to stay here, we don't have those answers. LVR runs those systems for us, so just give them a call. Transaction Desk has a 24-hour hotline, and you can just call them up and ask, and they'll sit on the phone with you for like 3 hours until you figure out what you need to do. So all of the resources is printed out and put in there, and I like to do it every couple of months and give you guys this because LVR has computer labs on how to work the systems, input them. They show you how to do CMA and comps, even though we have classes on all of that as well. Maria does a Tech Thursday, I think it's Tech Tuesdays now. We switched it, so I didn't adjust that one. But we have that calendar, and Realtor One at all 4 offices and Rock Title work really hard on supplying you with tons of classes and trainings and CEs. So just utilize that calendar. So you'll just click on the calendar, click on the day, it'll open, and it tells you the date, the time, gives you event links, Zoom links, everything is located inside there. And if there's a class, if there's something that you guys want to learn about, just let me know, and I will get either somebody to speak on it, or I can make it if I know how to teach on the topic. But if not, we'll find somebody that is knowledgeable enough to do that, because our goal is to give you guys all the resources that you need, so you don't have to go elsewhere. It should be given to you here at Realty One, and we're willing to do that. So just work with us in any way, shape, or form. We have tons of videos. Remember, go to YouTube, Realty One Group Summerlin YouTube channel. And there, if you click on playlist, there's a ton of stuff there. I have all of the back to basics. We have our Tech Tuesdays, which go into all of our back office tools. So there's a ton of stuff on there as well. And they just revamped One University. You guys should go in there. There's a whole bunch of training. They have a playlist, they have a library, they have coaching sessions you can do. So you really utilize all the tools that Realty One Group gives you. But this should be in your handout to give you times. So that's all I have for today.
Yay! And just one thing about not Wendy's hours, but even your hours as a realtor. Eventually, you're going to figure out: are you going to answer your phone at 10:30 if a client calls you, or you're not going to answer your phone? You guys have to figure that out for yourselves. Okay? I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, but sometimes you have to have some boundaries with your clients, or else they think they can come knocking on your door if you don't call them back. So just kind of be careful with that, okay? I used to have a buddy of mine at RE/MAX. He said he would tell his clients, you can reach me I work half a day. And we'd have chuckle. Yeah, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Aha, chuckle, right? But he was trying to get his point across that don't call me after 7 without saying don't call me at 9:30 at night. But you're going to figure that out yourself. I know realtors very successful to this day that'll get on the phone at 10:30 at night with a buyer. Okay? I know some agents that would never do that. Say I'll talk to you tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. That's all.
There are also the realtors on the other end. If you're trying to make an offer and you're calling them at 10, 11 o'clock at night, you might chance getting your offer rejected because they're like, I don't want to deal with that the whole transaction. And they can tell their sellers, look, this is how they're behaving already right out of the gate, and it's really a deterrent. So just watch and be curious of people's hours, because it can kind of bite you in the behind if you don't take into that.
Right. And again, you might have a buyer that saw the house at 5 o'clock. You type up the offer. It gets back and forth to you guys by 7 o'clock. and then the buyer is so impatient they want an answer tomorrow at 5. And you email it to me, the listing agent, I get it at 10:30 Thursday night, and you want an answer by tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Like Wendy said, I'm not thrilled about dealing with you as a listing agent because you're letting your buyer walk all over you. You have to, strategize with your buyer. Say, Mr. Buyer, I'd rather get it to them first thing in the morning, okay, as opposed to 10 o'clock at night, stuff like that. But that happens with time and with experience, okay? Speaking of time and experience, here he is, the one and only John Morgan, everybody. Here he is, Epic Lending. He's been doing more classes lately than anybody. It's unbelievable, all the classes this guy is teaching. So good stuff.
Down last night at school. Where were you?
Birthday.
Okay. Don't
Well-
let it happen again.
I know, trust me, it was do I come, do I celebrate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was good. Fun. Our first Wednesday every month here is Wind Down Wednesday for someone.
It is fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Next week's at Northwest, so we do it once a week at every other office. So, sounds like 91% chance they're going to cut rates in September.
Stop it. Stop it.
That's an A. I mean,
Really?
that's
Nice.
Wow.
And there's a high chance for the 3 cuts happening before the end of the year. So get to work. Start shoring up your database. Make those calls. Re-engage with those clients. Since they brought up taxes, and since I'm in the middle of a fight with an escrow person, not Rock, over taxing, don't get stuck in quoting things you're not sure about. All right, go to lender. MLS is notorious for making my job hard and crushing people's hopes because when they put the information in the MLS, those are assessed taxes for the previous homeowner. How much are taxes, property taxes allowed to go up each year for a primary occupant? 3% max. If your taxes are going up more, challenge them, they will lower, okay? But if someone lived in their house for the last 6 years, appreciation is higher than 3%. Guess what? Their assessed value is way lower than what the new one is going to be. So when the MLS says this much, just know, good chance taxes are going to be more when we close. I don't know why we're quoting 1%. Maybe if it's an investor or something like that, it's a little higher. But overall, Clark County rule of thumb, anywhere from 0.51 to 0.57 is what we've been seeing. So, look at what if you really want to say something, reach out to me, say it's, and this is for owner occupant. It changes when you're an investor, all right? You get a higher tax rate, you don't get breaks, all right? So don't get caught in, quoting something you're not sure about. Let the lender or title do it, but for the most part, that's a black hole you'll fall into. So know the rates are coming down, get in front of your clients, get some classes. You're free to come to the other wind downs in the other offices if you want. So I'd love to see you guys.
And I think, are there new loan officers in Green Valley too now?
There are. We got one lender that's officially started in Green Valley, and we got another one coming on.
Good. So you're not running down there as much anymore, correct?
See me more.
Okay.
You don't have to go out to the island. So,
Good stuff. Lending questions, gang? Anybody have a buyer, weird buyer? No? We're all good?
all right.
All right, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Hey, we talked about this ad nauseum over the last 2 years, but this week it happened 3 times where our agents took a listing, got it through escrow, and then they found out the seller was a scam. Another one.
Wow.
Another one yesterday. And this is an experienced agent that's been here for a long time. And so really, really be careful. We thought they were just targeting the newer agents, like you guys, pick on the new ones. They're not going to deal with, Irene or Steffi or Miriam that's been around a long time, because they could figure out based on your license number maybe or stuff like that, or Google you how long you've been in the business. But it looks like they'll go after any agent, So be careful. You get that phone call. Hey, Julie, my name is Tim. I live in Vegas, but I'm in New Jersey. I want to sell my half-acre land in Pahrump. Can you help me? You're thrilled. You're excited. Holy shit! Absolutely, I'll help you. But you might want to ask where he found you. Was he referred to you? Oh, no, I was just on Zillow, and I'm not saying that's a red flag. That's okay. Still go with it. But ultimately, you want proof that I'm that guy. You're going to ask him for a picture of his driver's license or her driver's license or passport or something. And then usually if you do that, you click.
They disappear.
Yeah, they're gone. Okay? Don't go through 3 weeks of work and expecting a paycheck and then it doesn't happen because title finds it out or somehow someone finds it out. Okay? I don't think any of these have closed yet that we know of with us, but I know around town some have, where people's homes were sold. And you know, guess who gets blamed? We do, or you. So just be careful of those phone calls, okay? And also be careful of if you have a listing and it's a buyer, usually an investor, and they don't want to be represented. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? That's happening a lot. If you don't know how to handle that, come see me or Wendy. If you're on a team, go to Haya or Damon or whatever. But that's happening a lot too, where buyers are calling the listing agent saying, you know, I don't need an agent. I'm going to represent myself. So you need to know how to have that conversation. Hopefully you can convert him or her and represent both if you wanted to. Maybe you don't want to do that. Okay, that's, you know, every agent's different on that. I was okay doing both sides, quote unquote. Wendy, not so much. There's no right or wrong answer here. You're going to figure that out if you want to do that or not, okay? But that's another thing that's happening on a regular basis too, okay? Steffi, you had the scam buyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what you had.
That was scary.
Yeah, that was pretty close too, right? It was, you know, we were,
Lots of work for nothing.
yeah, she went through, you know, 6 weeks of everything and then the rug got pulled out, so. All right, everybody kind of okay with that? Right, easy stuff? We've gone through it a million times, but. See, it's funny. You guys get this stuff because you come to the meetings. It's the agents that we never see that wonder, like, Tim, how is this happening? How is someone, you know, impersonating a seller of a property? This has been going on for 3 years. Where have you been? You know, so I appreciate that you guys come all the time. I really do. Okay. All righty, gang. I think our next incredible featured guest, of course, is Heather Mirich with her gold sneakers. Look at this. Check it out. Show them the sneakers. Come on. Look at that. Wearing the gold here, baby. Look at this. Look
My shirt that was gold black, and I got the gold shoes, also Macy's.
at that.
Let me see if I can move
Here.
this.
Do you want the clicker if you want to move the stuff or no? Or are you hopping on somewhere else?
I'm gonna go on the internet or
Okay.
our website here.
Oh, okay. Then just
So,
get out of that and then you can find a spot.
hopefully.
Okay. Okay.
All right, give me just a quick second here.
Take your time. Take your time. But hurry up.
Well, while she's doing that, I just want to remind everybody, when you have a buyer, the order of your documents are duties owed, first signed, dated and timed, and then your BBRA. We have a lot of confusion about, do we even need a duties owed because I'm having them sign a BBRA, and when did the duties owed come about? And I'm like, yeah, it's always been around. And then the BBRA is not getting signed, and then they're coming to closing, and we're like, you're missing it, and then they're like, I never got it signed. You cannot show a home without having a BBRA signed. Now, the reason why this is important, and you're like, oh, well, we'll just sign it, they can sign it today. Well, guess what? If the division were to come in and ask for your file right now, and they look at the property address, and then they look at when you accessed it, and then they look at your file and say the BBRA was signed after that lockbox was accessed, you're gonna get fined. So, and we can't stop that. So it's it's a duties owed, signed date and time. Even if you're authenticating things, you're going to send them the duties owed first. When you get that back, then go ahead and send them the BBRA, so they have 2 different times on them. Because people are not doing that, and their documents are not in order, so just kind of watch that. We're seeing that a bit. I saw it like 3 times last week, so.
Yeah, and to add to that, I have a buddy that's a broker in town. I wouldn't say who it was, but he got sued, or his agent got sued. You know, kind of frivolous, but it's a lawsuit, right? So he got subpoenaed. Real estate division gets involved because there's a complaint there, and it turns out the agent did nothing wrong. But when you get sued or the division gets involved, your whole file gets given to what is called an investigator at the division, and he's investigating the complaint, but he's also going to audit the file. And this agent got fined $1,500 for what Wendy just said. So he won the lawsuit. There was no lawsuit. He was thrilled. But then the division said, "Oh, by the way, Joey, you know, your BBRA was not signed in time, or you didn't upload the documents when you're supposed to." Or I forgot what he did wrong with the paperwork. But the agent got fined $1,500.
And it doesn't matter if it's
You
your
know?
primary residence,
Yeah.
if it's a friend, if it's your parents.
you cannot show a home at all unless that BBRA is signed. I get that a lot. Well, it's my house, so I don't have, we get the, it's my house, I don't have to do any paperwork. It doesn't, you're still doing a file, so you have to act like, no matter who it is, all files and documents are run the same way. Yes. All right, thank you guys.
So-
Wait a
Wait.
minute, she's got a question.
Yes. If you have a buyer is calling you, I have a listing and a buyer is calling me and he wants me to show the property. I said, are you working with any agent? He said, no. I said, then I can represent you. He said, no, he doesn't need any representation, so what I should do?
Show them the house. You can't not show,
house.
sure.
So in that case, I am writing the offer or he's supposed to write an offer by himself?
What do you guys think? So I'm the buyer, she takes me to see the house, I don't need an agent. Come on, I'm Tim, I don't need an agent. Okay, that's what I tell you on the phone. What does she do?
Sign the BRA. After this, right?
Okay, but I don't have to sign one initially, right? Because it's her listing,
Yeah.
right? So she can show it to me without the BBRA, right? But after I see it, I don't want her to represent me. So I'm not signing nothing. No duties owed, no BBRA, nothing. But I'm gonna make an offer on the house. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Then you say, okay, Tim, go make an offer, send it to me. That's what I would do, you know? Or I would, in a nice way, explain to them the advantages of using an agent, using you as my agent. But if that doesn't work, you refer me to anybody in the office and get a referral fee. Okay?
So I can let him know and make sure he's not gonna pay anything for me, the seller will. Is that gonna work?
You lost me.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, because he doesn't wanna sign the BBNR because he will be responsible for
Right.
payment. But in case, I'm gonna tell him, seller gonna pay all the commissions, so maybe I can write an offer.
Well, again, we're doing this real quick, but hopefully we talked a little bit. I'm the buyer. You asked me why. Do you want? Why don't you want me to represent you, Tim? I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want an agent? Like make me feel stupid in a nice way for not wanting to not having an agent.
And you could say, well, you're not gonna have representation, so there's a lot of documents that have to go through this transaction. Where are you gonna get them?
Yeah.
And then are you aware of the timeframes that you have to get them? Because I can't inform you of that and keep you on track because I don't represent you. And then so you're ready and prepared to contact your home inspector and write up your repair request. Like you're good with doing all of that, right? Because I can't help you once I don't represent you. And then they start rethinking, like, okay, there's a lot to that I might not have. They just think, honestly, the public just thinks, I'm gonna submit an offer and then it's all gonna be good. And then everybody else is gonna handle it. We cannot touch, we don't represent them, guys, everything is for the seller, so you can't do anything on that part. You just say, you're on your own, if they put in there, 10-day due diligence, you just sit there, and if they don't ever schedule inspection and that 10 days rolls up, okay, well, now they want to ask for repairs. Well, you're outside of that. My seller's not, and then they're going to catch on. But
In case he get the form somewhere and send me an offer, I should put in an addendum, we are not representing the buyer, right?
yeah, and if you're emailing him too, I would start every email as as per our previous conversation. I do not represent you. I only represent the seller.
Yeah.
And then you can go on. Yeah, but you would say it through the whole transaction because they seem to forget. And anytime you can give them advice on anything, and now that's implied agency or what. So you can't. I can't speak upon that. You might want to seek legal counsel.
Let's say you did get a phone call from a buyer. What type of buyer is that typically? Before you answer the phone, what kind of buyer is that you think it might be? Investor. Yes. 9 out of 10 times it's an investor. It's not Mr. and Mrs. Smith, first-time home buyer, telling you they don't want an agent. No, it's an investor. And you should know that in the first,
Agent from other state.
whatever it is, yeah, but you'll know that in hopefully the first minute as you ask me questions. And you ask me questions, oh, no, I'm an investor, and I've done this many times before, so I don't need an agent. And then you could say, okay, Tim, I understand that. Write up an offer and send it over to me and hang up the phone. And see if I type up an offer. And he might send you a Google Doc offer. If you get that, come see us. We have the answer to that. The answer is you send back a completed RPA. The RPA is your counter offer to that investor, okay? So that's your counter offer, okay? If they send you, we received an offer the other day, it was a Word document. It was a decent offer, but it was just a Word document. You could tell you just typed it up, okay?
So that starts the LVR form, your counter starts
Correct, yeah. We're not supplying them with blank forms. Our counteroffer is the RPA. And then see where it goes from there, okay?
I had a couple letter of intent only, they send it.
Right, then you counter back with the RPA,
And a lot of times what they're doing is they're like, I don't need an agent, so I'm gonna save on the commission and this seller's gonna reduce the price. Why? They already knew ahead of time, if you were a good listing agent, you already explained that this is your commission and you will most likely be obligated to pay a buyer commission in the range of this to this. So you've already prepped them. So why would they lower their price? They're like, hey, I just saved money, but I'm gonna keep my price at the way that it is. And then me, myself, this is what I would have maybe suggest is, hey, Mr. Seller, as I'm on my listing appointment, I get paid this. And if we get an unrepresented buyer that just doesn't want representation, I will tack on an extra such and such percentage because now I have to do all of the time frames and make sure everything's done without actually touching it. So it's actually, my job is actually harder trying to avoid agency conflict with this unrepresented buyer. So now they're not saving any money, they're still paying commission. So you could I know, I'm Italian. So you can have that conversation when that buyer comes to you and says, oh, well, I'm gonna save them money. Well, no, because you're unrepresented, I now need to charge my client more to handle that transaction. And then they might, so why would you not want representation? I'm gonna get paid either way. So that might kind of spur that to where you can do dual, or if that's what you want to do, I don't suggest it, but hey, or you can refer them to another agent. It's just, if you guys run into it, please come to us because we're seeing it quite often. Last month I had one agent that had 2 different buyers come to her like that. And it's just having a conversation when they found the second buyer, when they found out that it wasn't saving the seller any money and they weren't going to reduce the price, they walked away. That's all they were trying to just get a deal. So.
Okay, rock title, baby. There she
If
is.
you forget, do you call Wendy at 9 o'clock at night to ask her?
No, you call Heather at 9 o'clock at night, okay?
By the way, guys, still, Heather's on the same time frame. I know that you guys are like, oh, well, she just does marketing, blah, blah, blah. She's still, again.
I'm also not 24 hours.
She's not 24 hours
However,
either.
last night on the Summerlin Facebook page, one of the agents did tag me about a question on a marketing thing. Does anybody know, or Heather, I happen to be awake, I mean, it was only like 9, but don't expect me to always answer because I could be out. I always say I don't have much of a life, but sometimes I'm doing something. But I was able to respond to her, and I was fine with that. And also, if you guys post questions on the Facebook group, there could be another agent that can easily answer your question also. So, like, utilize that. And definitely use that for your listings, especially if you have a unique listing. Free, so why not use it? So, speaking of free, we all like to save money, right? Okay, so there's a lot of programs out there where you guys can pay money for social posts, right? Is there anyone in this room that does that? I think Tim does that because I see his stuff, maybe.
I used to a lot. Maybe I still do. I don't even know.
I think you do because I see your posts.
Yeah. Oh, yes, the Facebook post, yes.
It is
Absolutely.
free. Yeah.
Correct.
And I know you do. Okay, so there's a lot of people that use that. I know Tim Sams talks about a program that he likes. But to me, that's $100 a month, and it is nice because it's automated and you don't have to do anything. But I think your job is to do something. So I'm gonna say something probably a little different. Why not save a little bit of money? We offer at Rock Title so many free resources, and some of them are even, we'll go with 99 cents a month or $10 a year, so under $1 a month, and you can have all these free resources. Because again, your job as an agent isn't just to constantly post about the Las Vegas housing market, although yes, you should, but it should be a lot about you and your sphere, which is gonna be who you are friends with or acquaintance with on Facebook or other social media sources. So you can't just always be posting something automatically, even though that is good information, so I'm not saying it's a waste of money. But make sure your friends know who you are as a person, that you also have a dog, you like to go to the parks, you like this concert, etc. And more importantly, you're supposed to engage with other people. So when your friend posts something that they went to a concert or they are on a cruise somewhere, you're supposed to like and engage and ask questions. I know we have a little social media queen over here in the corner, Terry. She can probably talk a lot about that too, but it's about engagement, not just automated stuff. Because if you guys are only automating stuff and you don't take the 1 minute to post our free stuff, then you're probably not on social media engaging anyhow. And I think save your $100 or $50, I know there's different options out there, and do like simple things. I know I went over this with Brandon a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I didn't know you guys had all that stuff for free. Don't disappear on me. So one is list reports. So in list reports, I happen to be signed into Tim's account.
Great.
Right here. So a lot of people use list reports for flyers, open house flyers, single property websites. Those are great. Those take a couple minutes to do. But beyond that, we have all this free stuff. And you can do so much with this free stuff. So we have on here, you can do shareable types. So if you want to just post like facts, you can click on this one and you're going to get facts. If you want to post about what's up with real estate, you have all that on there. Today's shareables. So and whatever you click on, like let's click on this one here. There's different options. So if everyone in the room is posting the same thing, you can change what you want on there. So you can change it to whatever. And then you can also copy the caption, so you don't have to think here. It's still very, very simple. And if you tie your socials to here, you can just hit share. And that takes like a minute. I would say if you're brewing your coffee in the morning, checking your emails, get your phone out or computer, boom, boom, boom. You just posted and saved yourself $100. And at the same time, now you're on your socials and you're seeing other people's posts. So it gives you an opportunity to like their posts or maybe share their posts if it is a networking opportunity for you. So, and one of the things on here, I'll go back to, let's see.
And
Local housing market.
everything is branded to the agent, correct?
On here, I don't believe it's
No?
branded.
Okay.
But I will say, to me, you don't really need to brand it to yourself. You're already branded on your social media. So to spend all that time, and yes, if you go to One Rockstars, we have tons of branded stuff on there for you, but you do have to personalize the majority of the posts, which when I started here, that's all I knew about. And I'm like, oh, these are great. You just have to go to Canva and you can change your name on the 100 posts and change your photo in all of them. And it is easy and it's fine, but you don't really need to do that. I'm just trying to make it like, let's dumb it down and make it easy so you guys will actually do it. Like right here, the local housing market data. So you can pick any of these, it's the same information. I'm gonna just choose this look here. It's always a little slower in this room here. It's very slow in this room.
And I think the idea, gang, if you can do this every day, that'd be great. You know, a half hour. If not,
No, 2 minutes.
all right, I'm saying a half hour. I'm just, and then when you get to the point where you're making some money, then maybe you pay a company to do it, more professional. But for now, don't spend the money, like Heather's saying. There's no reason to.
And honestly, in my opinion, I don't even like those. But some people do, but that's okay, because one post is gonna resonate with this group, and another post is gonna resonate with this group. And some people want that daily post, and this person's a professional. But you can put something like this here. You can select a specific zip code. Here, we'll just choose this one here. Why is the internet so slow in this room?
I don't know. I have no idea. Exactly.
But choose your branding lets you pick the color.
Yeah,
Like
so
they have
if
the
you-
Realty One background or the Realty One colors.
Yeah, so we'll just do that one.
That's okay.
I don't know which one I picked, but it already has, this one is branded. I didn't realize that, because on my admin account, it's not branded.
Aha, see? I knew it was branded.
Copy this caption. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just hit caption. You just hit copy. And then you're posting it on your socials. And if you are in a place where your Wi-Fi works quick, it takes a minute. And you can see here, it shows you the active listings for that zip code. It shows you the median list price for that zip code, the median days on the market for that zip code. You can also, and if you decide you want this one, and just change it out and it looks different. So it takes a second, okay? So, and then going back to shareables here. if you do want today's notable, so how to use ChatGPT for home projects, okay, that's there. And again, you can change it to whatever you want it to look like, that looks better to me, copy the caption, share. It's really, really, really simple, and I don't think everyone's using these.
Heather, do you have to get involved in setting it up for them?
So,
It's already there.
yeah, if you have a list reports account.
Well, I say I don't. I just joined the
Yeah,
company.
If you have one, it's already there.
Right.
If you don't have one, you do need to message me and say, Heather, set me up.
Okay.
However, I do that a lot with you guys, and you have to, I send you the email, and it can take anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour, and it's list reports, which isn't owned by us, it's list reports that will send it to you guys. You have to then activate it, which is the step you guys don't always do. So you have to activate it, you create your own account, and then it's pretty simple. And you're going in there, you're branding it to yourself. So Tim, once upon a time, had to have branded it to himself, so he put his photo, he put the Realty One, he put his license number in there, and then it's already there for you. So the initial setup, maybe 5 minutes. If you don't know how to do something, like I'm not gonna go into marketing kits today, but I do have a class at the end of the month that will go into more detail on that. But you can create a marketing kit for any open house or listing that you have coming up in, again, minutes. And if you don't know how to do it, there is a little play button with a video. You watch it, you learn how to do it. I'm happy to help you, but for some reason, everyone has a different learning curve, so I would suggest coming to my class in person. You can call me and I can help you too. Okay, so that's free. Rock Agent is also free. However, there's a premium edition, and if you guys are gonna spend money on anything, it's $10 a year or 99 cents a month, and you have, here's a monthly marketing package, play video if you wanted to see what the new features are. But this is in the premium section, so again, I'm here. If you're on your phone and you have the app on your phone, these little buyer, seller, calculators, estimates, and premium, that's at the bottom, so just know that. And then right here, this has so many things on here that, again, less than $1 a month, tons of stuff that you can go through, infographics, there's calculators, there's videos. So there's really no reason, I mean, if I was an active agent right now, I would make myself do this, because a lot of agents, we don't always wanna do the easy button, because I think you're gonna learn a little bit more here. Plus, if you don't know, I think everyone knows social media, and if you don't know social media, we'll have a class on that, but it's pretty simple. Everyone's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, that's maybe, TikTok's pretty simple, but it might be a little higher level up. But look at all the stuff you can put here. And again, tons of stuff. So why are you guys paying for it? I'm gonna keep going. See all that stuff? All the stuff you have to choose from every day.
And just a little tidbit, when I was at my old company, I had list reports, but I paid $29.95 a month for it. Here it's free. So take advantage of it.
It is free, and I'll tell you, this is designed as a loan officer tool.
Mhm.
A lot of loan officers have this program and will automatically add you guys to be co-branded with them, which is fine. The challenge, though, you'll run into is it's co-branded with your loan officer. You might be doing an open house with a different loan officer, and then it's a little awkward when all of your branding is to Joe Schmo when you're with Mary. So if you do it with us, it's not like we make any money if you use us or not, so I don't care. However, it's not co-branded. So it is just you, and then it doesn't have you tied with a loan officer. And if you happen to be tied with a loan officer and I can't set you up, you guys do have to initiate an email to List Reports Customer Service, which I can give you that email, or it's probably on here. And you have to say, I'd like to change over to Rock Title, not Heather, because that messes up the system here, but Rock Title, and then they can transfer you. And I can even initiate an email for you guys, and I'll put you on it, I'll send it to List Reports. They do need you guys to respond and say, yes, I'd like to change over to Rock Title. But the amount of agents that don't do that step too, I don't know, because they ask me to do it, I do it, and they don't finalize it, and then it doesn't get switched over. So you just have to do a little bit. One last thing, where you guys can get free resources, and now I'm kicking myself for not reading the full article this morning. I was playing around with ChatGPT last night. Does everyone use ChatGPT? I have the premium at home, or on my home computer, but you don't need the premium, that's $20 a month. I just put in here, I'm a real estate agent in Las Vegas. Give me 5 articles about housing and the Las Vegas market. And all of a sudden, if you wanna look like you've been reading tons of papers, you can post any of these articles. So they give you links, and now you just take that link and you post it on your social media. And you can do that once a week, you can do it whenever. And the one I posted last night, I think talked about what you just mentioned about the 1960, like what happened in Las Vegas in the 60s or something. And it was the whole history of Las Vegas. I started to read it, but I got distracted and didn't finish it. But there's tons of stuff on here, interesting facts about Las Vegas, and you can just go through and you can copy these different things, and then if you want more information, you can say, turn number 4 into a social post, and then it'll give you a social post with hashtags. But again, it's something that's a minute or 2. You can put your stuff on social media, and you don't look like AI, because it's not like we don't understand what automated posts look like anymore. There's automated posts everywhere. When I was a lender 5+ years ago, and I'd meet with agents, you know, the biggest question was, I just don't know what to post. You know, where do you get the content? Well, everyone figured that out. So content is out there. There's tons of resources. But ChatGPT, whatever you're looking for, if you're like, give me 5 things that kids can do in Las Vegas this weekend, you can put that in there. It pulls articles from all over. So, or why you should move from California to Las Vegas, and it'll post articles. And it's literally the articles themselves. So then you're just copying. Here's the New York Post. Listings are soaring in this long famous resort city as residents try to flee and buyers hold back. Okay, you may not want to post that one. but read it first. You might want to do why people are leaving California and moving to Las Vegas.
There you go.
You can find an article on that. But that's also why AI isn't great, right? Because to us, I don't think that helps us sell Las Vegas so much. But maybe at the same time, that might help you get people that have been thinking about moving out of Las Vegas, and it's an opportunity to get a listing. So it kind of depends on what your angle is. But there's tons of stuff, that's all, and they're so easy to find. You don't have to scroll through tons of like articles late night to find something that is important to what you think your audience might be interested in. You put in ChatGPT. That's to me how you use AI, is use it for, you have to ask it questions that your audience might be interested in knowing, not just set it and forget it, because I think you guys are more than that. I think you guys should put a little bit of your own personality into your social media, because you're selling, how many realtors do we have right now? 15,000, 16,000, something like that. Everybody knows realtors, every single person. You're probably not the only realtor on their page. But if they might see, oh, this person does know about the Las Vegas market. And a lot of these posts start off with like your branding first. That's the first thing. Well, if someone's scrolling, they don't even know what your post was about yet, because they saw, okay, this was Joanne. And I'm not making fun of anyone that does this, because I mean, they're still good, but they're expensive. I'd rather see you put that money somewhere else.
Heather, what publication is that article from? Could you tell?
New York Post.
New York Post, okay, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna have some that have a different angle. So read through them, but you can have ChatGPT put in like 10 different things. And you can have them pull from, like I used to get articles from like just Realtor.com and Zillow. They have tons of articles, so I would copy those articles and post that. But there's so much stuff out there that I'd like to see you guys do that for free. And I don't know how much time I have, but about time to wrap up here. But one other thing I'm gonna touch on, a lot of you guys ask about farms, and that can mean so many things to so many different people. So a lot of it is communication, because especially when you're brand new, it's very expensive to get your real estate license. It's very expensive to keep your real estate license. And it's hard to know everything you need to know. So a lot of people start with farms and they ask for, can I get a farm and just leave it there. And I'm like, well, sure, but what are you gonna do with the farm? Do you wanna mail people? Do you want to call them? Do you wanna email? And some people, or I'll door knock. But we really need, I mean, there's a lot of homes in Las Vegas. I'm like, are you gonna mail, and they're about $1 a piece by the time you, whether it's a postage on a handwritten letter or it's a postcard. So are you really gonna send 17,000 postcards every month or every 2 months? Probably not. And so you wanna come up with a budget, whether it's $100, $200, $300, and hit those same people every month or every 2 months, whatever your budget allows, but you wanna really narrow that farm down so you can look for certain occupations. So if you guys know, like, you guys used to be a nurse or your mom's a nurse, you can search by nurses, you can search by other CPAs, you can search by if they're married, if they're unmarried, if there's presence of children, presence of no children, if they're over a certain age group. So many different things you can, if they have equity over 30%, if you don't wanna market to like, people that don't have equity, you can say people that have 30% more of equity. Names and addresses we can get on anybody. We can't always get our phone numbers and we can't always get emails because that information is not always available. And it's also not always 100% accurate because it's a data field. So wherever that data is, we can try to pull it, but we don't always have, it's not always gonna be accurate, it's just what's out there. So sometimes we can get it, sometimes we can't. We do pay a lot more money for emails and phone numbers, so we will do that. But we just ask to, if you're gonna send an email, I look at it too these days as how many people are opening junk emails. Because if you don't have a relationship with that person, I mean, I get Macy's, I'm sure we can all name 20 junk emails we get every day. Now you're a realtor that's also sending them another email. Maybe they're gonna open it, maybe they won't, but there's a lot of things to think about. So we'll have another class on that. Carrie?
I was going to ask, are you able to tell, so if I wanted to farm a certain area and I want to do 100 of them, are you able to zero out rentals and just home-owned properties?
So the way we do it is if it's owner occupied or if there's a different mailing address, we assume that is a rental.
So you're able to not include that on the list?
Correct.
I might ask you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
then you just specify owner occupied only.
Okay.
And that would just mean the mailing address matches the property address, so.
But guys, when you do that, like years ago, when I was marketing, I would market like this one whole long street and had like 3 to 5, I think it was 5 different subdivisions. So I call a marketing rep and I say, okay, here's an address. I want all of the homes in there that have at least 200,000 in equity, that are 1 story, that have a pool, and that that the homeowners live there at least 5 years. And instead of 250 homes, I got 80. Then I would go to the next subdivision, same criteria, and I'd get 100 over there. Then I'd go to the next. So my marketing budget stretched for that whole street for the people that are most likely to sell and the fast turnover homes and that have equity. And then they don't call me and they're like, well, I'm upside down. Can you short sell my house? And now it becomes into a whole different sale. So get as specific as you can to give Heather that information. Don't just say, I need a farm for this address. There's 500 homes. Okay, but what are you gonna, like she said, what are you gonna do? And I knew I was mailing, so she was, able to get me our title at the time was able to get me exactly what I needed, and I was able to spread it through that all 3 to 5 different subdivisions instead of just sticking with one.
And the market's changed. I mean, I used to get 5 postcards a week from real estate agents. Now I get 1 every month or every 2 months, but those are never the agents that have the listings in my home either, because people, I think today it's changed where everyone seems to know somebody that does real estate. So we all send postcards for different reasons, but just make your money work for you. Because if you're sending it to if you just had a listing or an open house or something and you're gonna advertise that you just sold this property at this price, that's probably good. But if they're just generic postcards, you might have to hit them a lot. A lot of people are rate locked. Interest rates have started to come down a little bit, but they can just go back up. They're like this. And it also puts people on the edge that, should I wait because they're gonna drop? And even if the Fed does lower interest rates, that's the Fed fund rate. That's not necessarily equivalent to mortgage rates dropping. And just the fact that they're talking about it is probably already trickled into today's rates, just the economic news that's come out. So if they lower rates half, it doesn't mean mortgage rates will drop a half too. So make sure you guys understand that too when you're talking to people. But there's a lot of different things you guys can do for marketing, but it has changed a little bit. Not everyone does want to sell. But once you start, we have an equity calculator that you can plant the seed that they have $200,000 in equity or $300,000 in equity, and that might get them to start moving. But I would really encourage you guys to expand your social circle, get out there, meet people, shake hands, because to me, that's how a lot of people make connections, and then you can add them to your Facebook or wherever and stay in front of them that way. But that's just an opinion, because you guys all look different. Everyone gets leads from different sources. Carrie's all about social media. She probably gets most of her stuff from social media, I think.
99%.
99%. She does it awesome. So follow her if you're not already, because you'll probably learn a lot from what she does. So I won't take up any more time, but thank you guys.
Heather, everybody, yeah! But just one quick before everybody goes, take advantage of Heather, and farming really works. Carrie was getting into it. Quick story, I've told this before. We had an agent, Martin, he relocated back east. He called up Barbara Becker years ago, said, Barbara, I want all the 2-story homes in Summerlin with a home that's owner occupied, and they've lived in the house more than 10 years. Right? So they've been in more than 10 years, so a lot of equity, 2-story home. Odds are they're in their 60s, right? And he took that information, created a marketing piece, and mailed letters to those people. And it was a funny letter about, aren't you tired walking up the stairs? It was a gold mine. It was a gold mine. It was a gold mine for this guy, okay? And so just an idea like that, think about it. You're 67, you're walking up the stairs, you're carrying your wife up the stairs with you, or whatever you're doing here, You'd kill for a 1-story home, right? So stuff like that. And Heather is good at narrowing down the criteria so you don't get,
And I have a lot of stuff if you guys want to work with seniors. I have the whole playbook stuff.
Yeah, she has a whole CE class, I think, on seniors too, right? Is it a CE class?
CE
Yeah.
class, and then I have my monthly mastermind, which I just had yesterday. But there's tons of stuff. And if you guys are going to work with seniors, they like the old-fashioned letters too.
Yes.
With ChatGPT, there's no reason you can't personalize it. You don't need us to give you a template anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to personalize it to yourself, who you are, how you can help them, and it'll come up with something really cool. If you guys want postcards, to me, the best thing is through Corfax. If you go in through the back office, the zone,
Yep.
that's where you're going to see Corfax. And if you go in through there instead of Corfax.com, everything is already branded as Realty One. So you don't have to rebrand it. It's all Realty One stuff. And Corfax has a designated Realty One rep. So you can call them and get questions. You get the list from us, you can upload it into Corfax, and then they'll send the postcards out. And there's hundreds to choose from too.
Okay, we're all good? All right, pick a number from 1 to 20.
Well, you pick a number because I've got the list.
Oh, I got to pick a number. Oh.
Suzanne sent me the list so she could go back up.
What number are you? No, I'm kidding.
Through 18 minutes.
Let's go with 14.
Mary Faye.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's rigged. I think it's rigged here. There you go. There you go. All right, gang, thank you for coming. Go make some money. Stay out of lawsuits, please. Okay? All right?